Hey, Ariana. All right.
Right, I'll begin. Let's go. Come on, Dee. And Richard, can you hear and see me fine?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's begin in a seated position. Dakota's just in the middle of the camera, but it's on. Dee, come here. All right. So we will begin in a seated position. Just cross your legs here and allow your hands to come to your knees. Making sure that your sit bones are rooting down towards the earth, down towards the floor, sitting up nice and straight, nice and tall. And just taking a moment here to focus on your breathing, focus on your breath. Not manipulating the breath in any way, but just noticing the natural rise and fall of your belly and of your chest. And notice during this practice if you become distracted in any way, if you realize you're a little bit tired, a little bit sleepy, a little bit anxious, whatever it might be, whatever feelings or emotions that you may be experiencing this morning, just acknowledge them. And then return back to your breath. Just spending a few more moments here, focusing on your breath, being fully present and mindful, aware of each inhale and exhale. Deepening the breath a little bit here, taking a big inhale through the nose, fill up the belly. And then exhale, side out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose, fill up the belly. And exhale, side out the mouth. Final round of breath, just like that. Deep inhale. Exhale out. And returning back to your natural breathing. You're welcome here to blink the eyes open. So we're going to go through this motion of cat-cow, but seated. So puffing out the chest, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze up towards the ceiling on your in-breath. And on the exhale, you're going to round out through the spine, round out through the back, dropping your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, puff out the chest. Heart lifts, gaze lifts on the inhale. And exhale, round up through the spine, chin in towards your chest. And let's go through 3 more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good, and then gently coming back through center. You can pop out your chest actually, and you're lifting your heart, lifting your gaze up here, and then bump your hips over to the right side and then back, just going for full body circles here. So seated, still making sure that your sit bones are rooting down towards the mat, towards the floor. So you want to have good foundation. Good, solid connection with the ground. And then when you come back up through center, puffing up the chest, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. You're gonna bump your hips over to the left side this time, and then back. So just circling out in the opposite direction. And slowing down and then coming back through center. Sitting up nice and tall. On your in-breath, your arms are gonna extend up high towards the ceiling, reaching up high. Interlace your fingers and then press your palms up high towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Again, sit bones are still rooting down in towards the mat here. Big breath in. On the exhale, release your right hand's gonna grab your left wrist. Inhale to stretch. And then exhale, bending all over to the right side, barreling your chest up towards the ceiling. Big breath in here. Exhale, bend even deeper. One more breath in. And on the exhale, brings you up back through center and switching opposite sides. So this left hand grabs your right wrist this time. Inhale to stretch up high towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, bending over towards the left side this time, barreling your chest up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. And exhale, pulling back a bit on this right arm so it's not obstructing your view. One more breath in. And on the exhale, coming back through center. Gaze peeks up, releasing the palms. Bring a prayer through to heart center, pressing your palms in towards one another. Gently bowing the chest down in towards your chest. Your chin in towards your chest, rather, excuse me. And maybe finding a piece of gratitude here for waking up this morning and rolling out your mat with me. Possibly creating an intention for yourself for the remainder of class, maybe for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week. And holding yourself accountable to something. So whether that be more self-compassion, more self-care, just holding yourself accountable to whatever comes to mind. Big breath in. And exhale, sigh out, release out the mouth. Good. Blinking the eyes open, releasing your prayer. Dropping your hands over to the right and setting up for your tabletop position. Good. So here in your tabletop, your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hip points. So just take a peek behind you at your feet. Make sure that you don't see your feet. If you do, just slide them out of the way that they're in line with your ankles here. We'll begin with our toes tucked. So on the inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts up high towards the ceiling for our cow. And on the exhale, untuck the toes, round up the spine, gaze towards your belly. Inhale, tuck the toes, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, untuck the toes, round up the spine, gaze towards your belly. Going for 3 more rounds here on your own, connecting movement to breath here. And syncing with your breath. Final round. Good, and coming back to a neutral tabletop. You can keep the toes untucked here. You're gonna separate your knees mat width distance apart or maybe further depending on how you're feeling this morning. Bring your big toes to touch and send the seat back down towards your heels, reaching forward to the top of your mat. Forehead surrenders down for your child's pose. Allowing your forehead to make contact with your mat here. Maybe begin to rock the head from side to side, massaging the forehead, massaging the third eye. Coming back through center, finding stillness. On the inhale, you're going to lift up through the fingertips, so tenting the hands here, and begin to walk your hands over to the right side. Rounding the right palm down, and the left palm comes over it. Big breath in here. Exhale, breathing into your left side body. Left hand comes off of the right, tenting the hands here, coming back through center. And then walking your palms over to the left side. Left palm grounds down, right palm over. Big breath in. And exhale out. And right hand comes off of the left, tenting the fingers, coming back through center here, and pressing your palms up, coming back into your tabletop position. So grounding down in your left palm this time. On your next inhale, your right palm is going to reach up high towards the ceiling, gaze follows here. And on the exhale, thread it underneath your left, grounding down on your right side body. Option here to just extend that left arm out in front of you, or maybe you take a half bind here. So rooting down on your right temple. Big breath in here. And big breath out. One more breath in. And on the exhale, releasing the half bind if you took it. Grounding down on that left palm, right arm reaches up high towards the ceiling. And then ground it down. Left arm reaches up high towards the ceiling, peels up, gaze follows. And on the exhale, spread it underneath your right arm, extending that right arm out to the front of the mat, or taking a half bind here. Taking whatever feels good. Big breath in here. And exhale out. Big breath in. Exhale, releasing the bind. If you took it, ground down in the right palm. Left arm reaches up high. And exhale, root it down to your tabletop position. Tucking the toes here, grounding the palms down. Taking a big breath in. And on the exhale, send the hips up and back for your downward facing dog. So just noticing where your hands and feet are. Maybe you have to shorten your stance or widen it. I have to widen my stance here. But so that we're all on the same page, so we all are checking in with ourselves. Let's lift the pie into the balls of the feet and just roll out to your high plank position. Just to take some inventory of where your hands and feet are, where your body is. So coming high into the balls of the feet. Legs are engaged, core is engaged, keeping a soft gaze at the top of the mat here, pressing the mat away from you. And then when you're all set here, send the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. And seeing here if you can find some length, some extension through the tailbone here. You don't want to have too much of a swoopy back, but finding swoopy back, finding some extension from the tailbone. So tailbone lifts up high towards the ceiling, chest in towards your thighs. Allow your head, allow your neck to hang heavy. Begin to pedal out the feet here. Just breathing into this full body stretch. And so lifting one heel at a time, bending one knee at a time. Big breath in. And big breath out. And big breath in. And even bigger breath out. One more breath in here in your downward facing dog. And then coming back through center, finding stillness. And so once again, completely breathing in here with this full body stretch. On your next in-breath, your right leg's going to sweep up and back behind you, finding your three-legged dog. You're going to bend at the knee, then stack the hip open. So your knee being the highest point of your body here. Noticing if your left heel can root down towards the mat or not, it's okay. Again, pressing your chest in towards that standing leg and squaring your shoulders off towards the top of the mat. Going for knee circles here in one direction. And then switch into the opposite direction. Coming back through center. Extending that right leg up high towards the ceiling. Square your hips off. And then bend at the knees. Step that right foot to meet between your hands. And staying high on the ball of that back foot. Coming onto your fingertips here. And just gently begin to straighten out that front leg. And then bend back into the knee. Sinking my hips down low. Okay, so making adjustments here as you need. Moving with your breath. Straightening out that front leg. And then bending deep in that knee, sinking the hips down low. Let's just go for 2 more times like that. And coming back through center here, grounding that right foot down in towards the mat, staying high on the ball of that back heel. You're going to come onto the fingertips again, belly's engaged. On your next in-breath, arms sweep up high towards the ceiling for your high crescent lunge. Okay, so finding your balance here. Option to come down into that back knee, but if not, the back leg is straight. Squaring your hips off towards the top of the mat, bending deep in that front knee, and again, grounding down in the big toe mound of that right foot. Everything is squeezing into the center line. Big breath in here. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more breath in. And on the exhale, your left hand is going to come to the inside of that right foot. Right arm peels up high towards the ceiling. So really sparking that top hand. Maybe that right arm even pulls back behind you to be in line with that bottom arm. Again, staying high on the ball of that back foot. Big breath in here. Big sigh out. Good. One more breath in here. And on the exhale, the right hand comes down to frame the front foot. Back leg steps up to meet the front and forward fold down. Good. Bending deep in the knees here. Setting up for your ragdoll. So bending so deep that the belly meets the thighs. Neck and head hangs heavy here. Option to grab opposite elbows. Big breath in. And exhale out. Begin to sway from side to side. Releasing opposite elbows. And this time you're going to reach for your ragdoll or clasp for your ragdoll, but behind your knees and going in the opposite direction. So when I was in front, my right arm was in front of my left, but now behind me, I'm going to have my left arm in front of my right. And then still bend deep in the knees, allow the head to drop, neck is loose, and just chill here for a few breaths. Good. Just really releasing what is not going to serve you this morning or this afternoon. Releasing the elbows here, rounding down in the feet. Beginning to lift yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking bone on bone, nice and slow. Head being the last to lift. Coming into your mountain pose, nice and tall, nice and strong here. Maybe quickly blink the eyes open, take a peek at the feet. Make sure that they're facing 12 o'clock. Your legs are engaged, thighs engaged. Your tailbone is tucked, your pelvis is lifted, core is active. And then your arms are just coming alongside body. So just allow them to drop alongside body with the palms of your hands shining forward. Big breath in here. And exhale out. And bringing that prayer back through heart center. Blinking the eyes open. On your in-breath, arms extend up high towards the ceiling. Maybe take a small back bend here. And on the exhale, bend at the knees, forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, plant both palms down. Step the right leg back first. And then the left, downward facing dog. And so again, meeting here in your downward facing dog, rounding down in the feet, hands or shoulders width distance apart, feet hips width distance apart. And again, finding length, finding extension through your tailbone. On your next in-breath, your left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Bend at the knee, then stack the hip open. So very important here, squaring your shoulders off towards the front of the room. And when you're ready, just begin to circle out that knee in one direction. And then circle it out in the opposite direction. The awkward way for me, have to think more mindfully of these circles. There we go. Then coming back through center. Extending that left leg out behind you, three-legged dog. Bend in that left knee, bring it in towards your nose, and then step that left foot to meet between your hands. High in the ball of that back foot, light on your fingertips. And then when you're ready, connecting with your breath, I just need to catch my breath for a second. Connecting with your breath here. Straighten out that front leg. And then put a deep bend back in that knee, sticking the hips down low. And connecting movement to breath here, movement with breath rather. One more round. And then coming back through center, grounding the big toe mount of that left foot in towards the mat. Light on the fingers, core engaged, and then thigh muscles squeezing in towards one another. Ooh, find your balance. Your next in-breath, arms sweep up high towards the ceiling for your high crescent lunge. Big breath in here. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper in that front knee if you can. Back leg super straight. Big breath in. Exhale out. One more breath in. And on the exhale, that right palm comes to the inside of the left foot. Left arm reaches up high towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze follows. It's really sparking that top hand and bringing it a little bit behind you to be in line with that bottom hand. Barreling that chest up high. Big breath in here. And exhale out. One more breath in. On the exhale, that top hand comes down to meet the mat. Back foot steps up to meet the front. And forward fold when you arrive. And inhale to flat back position, palms to shins, pressing that heart forward, tailbone high. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, nice and strong, arms extend up, prayer meets above head. Exhale, bend at the knees, forward fold. Inhale to flat back palm positions, press the heart forward. And exhale, plant the palms down. Left foot steps back first this time, then the right, meeting back in your downward facing dog. Here you're gonna bend in your knees and come back into your tabletop position. Separate the knees, mat width distance or further. Big toes touch, and send the hips back, send the feet back, child's pose. So peeking up halfway here, you can follow my cues, or you could just take a glance at the video quickly. We're gonna do this little back and forth movement. So we'll lift up, lifting ourselves up from our child's pose, sinking the hips down low, and our feet rise, and we drop our head back. And then on the exhale, we're gonna sink our hips back down, coming into our child's pose, forehead melts into the mat. We're just gonna do this for a few breaths. I'll cue us to come down to finalize this movement from our child's pose to like this baby scorpion. So going as fast or as slow as works for you. Let's just go for one more round wherever you are. Good. And then send the seat back down to your child's pose. And big breath in here. On the exhale, tuck the toes, meet back into your tabletop position. So bringing your knees back in towards one another, but still allowing there to be some space. So maybe you move your hands out a little bit in front of you. So maybe your wrists are not directly underneath your shoulders this time. You're gonna sink your hips down, and we're gonna make our way down into your belly. Okay? So bring your forehead down, bring your hands in line with your ribs here, untucking the toes. So pressing the tops of the feet down in towards the mat. Your legs are engaged, palms pressing down in towards the mat, and your elbows are rolling in towards one another. On your big breath in, baby cobra, lift up, lift the gaze. And exhale, forehead to mat. Big breath in, baby cobra. And exhale, forehead to mat. Good. This time, on your inhale, you're gonna press down into your hands and press yourselves all the way up to your upward facing dog. Big breath in, go for it. And stay here on the exhale. 2 more breaths here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Final breath. Good. Rolling the toes, engaging the core, downward facing dog. Good. Let's just walk our dog out here. Bending in the knees a bit. And then coming back to center, finding stillness. You're gonna separate your feet, mat width distance, or maybe further if that's comfortable. And then you're gonna walk your hands in a bit. So I just like walk my hands in 2 steps, but we're gonna do this downward facing dog stretch, but there's a few ways to do this. You can keep your knees bent. If you find that you need to walk in a little bit more to shorten your stance, you can do that. If you also find yourself that you are very flexy and bendy and you can extend much deeper, then definitely do so. Grounding down in that left hand, your right hand's gonna hover, and you're gonna reach behind you for the outside, for the pinky edge of your left foot. So this allows you to barrel your chest up towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze meets under that left armpit. And again, if this is not for you, you can put a bend in the knee, and maybe your hand only reaches your shin, your knee, or maybe just even your pant leg. Okay. So again, find what resonates with you. Big breath in here. And big breath out. One more breath in. And on the exhale, gently release and ground that right hand down in towards the mat. Catching your breath if you're like me. Grounding down that right hand. Now your left hand hovers and reaches for the pinky edge of that right foot this time. So maybe the ankle, maybe the pant leg, maybe the knee, maybe the shin. Big breath in here. Exhale, twist even deeper. Big breath in. And big breath out. And gently release here. And walking back out into your normal downward facing dog. Again, maybe for measurement purposes, maybe you have to come high into the ball of the feet like I do. And then I just roll up to my high plank. Just to see where my body is. And then when I feel fit, when I feel right, then the hips up and back to downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, your right leg sweeps up and back behind you. You're gonna bend in your knee, bring that knee in towards your nose, and step that right foot to meet with your hands. Maybe it arrives there gracefully, or maybe you need to step it up, help it up. Good. Staying high in the ball of that back foot here. Light on the fingertips. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Nice and strong, arms extend up. Catch your breath. It's very challenging to talk this much and move this much at the same time. And I hope that you're following. Okay. So nice and strong with your arms extended up high towards the ceiling on your inhale. On the exhale, you're gonna bend in the elbows. Bend the chest back, or lift the chest, lift the gaze. That would be interesting. And then on the inhale, arms extend up high towards the ceiling again. Exhale, bend in the elbows, chest lifts, gaze lifts. And extend it back up towards the ceiling. Last time, bend in the elbows, chest lifts, gaze lifts, and come back through center. The left hand's gonna come to the inside of that right foot. Right arm reaches up high towards the ceiling again. Option to bend back a little bit to keep your arms in line with one another, bowing your chest up towards the ceiling. And notice here if your right knee is coming off to the right side, bring it back into your center line. Inner thigh muscles rolling in towards one another. Drop that right hand to frame the front foot, light on the back toes, and step the left foot to meet the right. Good, and forward fold here. Inhale to flat back palms to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Nice and strong, arms extend up high towards the ceiling. And a prayer meets your heart center. Good, just take a moment here. Releasing your palms, bringing them alongside Tadasana Mountain Pose. Prayer comes back through heart center, blink the eyes open. Inhale, send that prayer up high towards the ceiling. On the exhale, bend at the knees, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale to flat back position, palms to shin. Exhale, plant the palms down, right foot steps back, then the left. Here, downward facing dog. And left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Bend that left knee, bring it in towards your nose. Step that left foot to meet between your hands. High in the ball of that back foot. Core engage. Inhale, arms extend up towards the ceiling. Head squaring your hips off towards the front of the room. Have to make an adjustment here. Rounding down into the toe moon of that front foot. Good, and then bend deep in that front knee. That's just finding your balance, taking me a bit of finding your balance here. And then when you're ready, if you're already there, cool. When you're ready, arms extend up towards the ceiling. Settle in. And inhale here. On the exhale, bend the elbows, chest lifts, gaze lifts. Extend the arms back up. Bend the elbows, gaze lifts, chest lifts. Inhale, arms extend back up. One more time, bend the elbows, chest lifts, gaze lifts. And come back through center. Good, right hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Left arm peels up high towards the ceiling. Easy twist, simple twist. Good. Breathing here. Left hand comes down to frame the front foot. Back foot steps up to meet the front. And forward fold here. Good. So deep bend in the knees here. So much that your belly meets your thighs again. We're going to sit up for a gorilla pose. So flip your palms. Bring them underneath your feet. So starting off with our knees bent. Then we're going to straighten out the legs. Allowing your head, allowing your neck loose here. Upper back, upper body, very loose. Particularly your head. So here in your gorilla pose, maybe you notice that you can straighten out your legs even more. And then maybe, just maybe, you can shift your weight into the balls of your feet and into the heels. So a very subtle movement, not balancing in any way, but just rocking forward and back. If you try this and you're like, absolutely not, that's okay. Yeah, if you decide to rock forward and back, just coming back through center. You're gonna really roll onto the heels of your feet just to slide your hands out from underneath your feet. Put a big bend back in the knees. Heel toe your feet mat width distance apart or further, keeping your toes at a diagonal, and then standing your feet down low. Setting up for our yogi squat for Malasana. And then move back a bit. See that all my furniture is in the video. So, nice tall spine. You're not rounding in your upper back, but instead, nice and straight. Nice full line of energy. Pressing your elbows in towards your knees and your knees in towards your elbows. Good. Setting up here for your yogi squat. So really pressing your palms in towards one another. You're going to do this subtle movement where you press your right elbow just a little bit more into your right knee and then shift your chest over to the left side. So it's a very subtle movement. Gently coming back through center and now pressing a little bit more in that left knee with your left elbow and shifting your chest over to the right. And then come back through center. Let's do that 2 more times. Pressing a little bit more into the right shifting over to the left, and then come back through center. Press a little bit more into the left, shift over to the right, and then come back through center. Last time. When you're done, you arrive, you came back through center. You're gonna extend your arms out in front of you, your palms facing one another, really grounding down in the feet. You're gonna use your leg muscles to press yourself up to stand. Good, so staying here, grounding down in the feet, gonna bend in the knees, and squat back down. Grounding down in the feet, pressing in the legs, lift up, and sit back down. 3 more times. Press yourself up, and sit back down. Press yourself up, and sit back down. Last time, press yourself up, and sit back down. Prayer comes back to heart center. Your right hand's gonna come to the outside of your right knee. Let me just face the camera quickly. So you're like this. So your right hand will come to the outside of your right knee. Your left arm's gonna reach up high towards the ceiling here. So if you have a half bind, you're more than welcome to take it. Maybe you even have a full bind. And your fingers clasp, they interlace, and you barrel your chest up high towards the ceiling. Good, big breath in here. Exhale, gently release the bind if you have it. Prayer comes back through heart center. Now this time your left hand comes to the outside of your left knee, pressing it away. Right arm reaches up high towards the ceiling. You can flip that top hand and set up for your half bind or maybe your full bind. So see what you're practicing. I sometimes find it easier to experiment when I'm home. And all of us are home, so that's a good thing. All right, and release, coming back through center. Okay, extend your arms out in front of you, palms facing one another. Ground down in the feet again and press yourself up. Good. Bring your hands to your side. I'm gonna make my way back over to the top of my mat here. Inhale, arms extend up high towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend at the knees, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale to flat back position, palms to shins, press that heart forward. And exhale, forward fold down. Plant the palms, step the left leg back, then the right, and then bend in the knees. Make your way back into your tabletop position. Okay, then separate your knees mat width distance apart or further. Big toes touch. Sit back, child's pose. And lifting yourself back up. So you're gonna tuck your toes here. And I'm just gonna demo quickly again. You can listen to the sound of my voice, or you could just take a peek at the video. So we're gonna do this toe tuck here to really stretch out the feet. I find it so important to always stretch out the feet. So I kind of like to incorporate this. So you're gonna bring your heels together. So I'll just face quickly behind you. You want your heels to be together. You actually don't want there to be any space between your feet like this. You want them nice and snug, hugging one another, okay? So take your pointer fingers, reach behind you, and make sure that your pinky toes are gaining some of the action, okay? So that they are also rooting down in towards the floor, that they are also tucked underneath you. And so this could be pretty painful for some of us if we're not too flexy, if we're not too bendy in our feet, maybe they're stiff.
So if you find that this is way too much and this is actually pretty painful and not the good kind of pain, you can lift the weight off of your seat and you can bring your hands to your thighs or maybe just drop them off in front of you so there's not too much weight on your feet. Okay, so find what feels good. If you're completely like, nope, you can just sit down in a hero's pose, in a Shiro's pose, so you can untuck your toes. Um,
So let's be here for a few breaths wherever you are. And noticing here if you become distracted in any way, this would be a good time to focus on that. And then just to gently, non-judgmentally bring yourself back to your breath. And again, feel free to make adjustments here while you're in your toe tuck. Certainly not obligated or forced to be in anything that is causing you pain. But noticing the difference between pain and discomfort. So maybe if it's a little uncomfortable and you can kind of push yourself a little more, do so. But if it's just too much pain, inflicting too much pain and harm on yourself, then you want to back away and protect yourself. 3 more full breaths here. Gently blinking the eyes open. You're going to ground your palms down in front of you if they're not there already. Untuck the toes, and then just begin to tap the tops of your feet behind you. Good. And just to kind of counteract everything that we just did. Good. And you can cross your ankles behind you and sit back, coming into a seated position here. And I'm going to face the front. And then maybe actually I'm going to cross my legs the opposite way because when I started off class, my right leg was in front of my left. So now I'm going to bring my left in front of my right. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall here. You're going to you're going to drop your forehead, drop your chin down and towards your chest. Allow your head to hang heavy here. Making sure that your shoulders aren't creeping up towards your ears. So just relaxed here. Rolling your right ear to your right shoulder. And drop it in, coming back through center. Left ear to your left shoulder. Again, making sure that now this right shoulder isn't creeping up to your right ear because mine was. And then drop it back through center. 2 more times here, right ear, right shoulder. Come back through center. Left ear, left shoulder. And come back through center. Last time, right ear, right shoulder. Come back through center. Left ear, left shoulder. And come back through center. Lifting your head up and then dropping it back. You can keep your eyes closed. You can also open up the mouth, allowing your jaw to hinge open. And then right ear, right shoulder. Relaxing the shoulders. And drop it back behind you. Left ear, left shoulder. Drop it back behind you. Over to the right. Drop it back. and over to the left. And drop it back. Lifting your head up, coming back through center. You're going to uncross your legs, extend them out in front of you. Bring your hands to your side, on either side of your hip, actually. And just here, wiggle out the toes. Point and flex through the feet. You're gonna keep your left leg extended, but you're gonna bend in your right knee. So planting the right heel down into the mat. Your right arm's gonna come behind you, and then your left arm's gonna reach up high towards the ceiling. You're gonna bend in this left elbow, and then bring it to the outside of the right knee. Good. Nice straight arm behind you, and just twisting behind you, so not cranking. Oftentimes people will say like this cranking motion, but more so just this twist here from your torso, but not forcing anything. Maybe your gaze meets behind that back shoulder. You're going to take one more breath in here. On the exhale, you're going to come back through center. Both arms are going to extend up high towards the ceiling, and then off to the left side to do this little push-up. So bending in the elbows and pressing yourself up for this counter twist here. Now, you can keep this left leg extended out in front of you. What I want you to do now is take your right heel, and so here we are. So I have my right hand, I have it grabbing my right heel here. So you could bend in that knee, just bring it back behind you. Then I'm gonna take my left arm and bring the bottom of my right foot into the crease, the inside crease of my left elbow. I just want to be here and kind of rock this pretend baby. Rock it back and forth, back and forth. Good, gently releasing here. And then I'm going to plant my right leg back down in front. Good. So now setting up for the opposite side. With your right leg extended out, left knee bends. Sitting up nice and tall. Left arm comes behind you. Right arm reaches up high towards the ceiling. Bend in that right elbow and allow it to come to the outside of that left knee. And again, twisting here. Opening up, gaze meets over that back shoulder. Whew. Big breath in here. And exhale out. One more breath in. And on the exhale, gently release. Arms come up high towards the ceiling. Counter twist here. This little push-up on the right side. And then press yourself back up. So same thing here. Keeping that left leg extended out in front of you. Your left hand's going to come to the pinky edge of that left foot. Bend in that left knee. Bring it back behind you for the stretch here. Extending that right arm. The instep of your right foot is going to come to the inside of the right elbow. There we go. And then just rock your baby. Rock this baby. This pretend baby. Good. And coming back through center. Gonna grab that left leg again. Extend it out in front of you. Good. And drop it down. You're welcome here to cross your legs again, or maybe take you can lie out on your back. If you need to take a sip of water or add any articles of clothing on, you're more than welcome. But settle in a nice seat, settle in stillness, and find your breath. Battery low. Please charge now. bring your prayer through to heart center, pressing your palms in towards one another. Gently bowing your head down, bring your chin in towards your chest. And really thanking yourself for placing your mat out this morning, tuning in with me to continue showing up for our house yoga community, but most importantly for yourself. Again, maybe finding that piece of gratitude that carried you out for the past 60 minutes, maybe the piece of gratitude that will carry you out for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, month, a year, whatever it might be. And now begin to lift your prayer up to your forehead, to your third eye, to your center of all knowing and intuition. And I thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice this morning. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dakota's snoring right next to me.
I wish this one would be sleeping. I'm happy you didn't eat my fingers and toes, though.
So
Sometimes
funny.
he behaves, but other times he's just like, feed me. Give me food and give me attention.
That's so funny. Do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
Homework. I got some papers to finish up. But other than that, I feel like I've been doing a lot. I've been organizing my boyfriend's apartment. I've been baking. I'm trying to watch some new shows. But it's like, once you watch everything, there's nothing really left to watch.
I know. I started watching Ozark, and it's kind of like violent and stuff, but it's kind of entertaining.
Don't worry. I was watching Pandemic, and I was like, oh, we did this. We did everything. But then I'm like, I gotta watch cartoons or something that's like lighthearted now.
Oh yes, definitely. I was at where was I? I think I was at my sister's house or something, and she has like this channel where it plays like the cartoons from the 90s. So like watching Hey Arnold was like really nice. If you have Netflix, they have like a Rugrats and a Hey Arnold like movie, and I found that to be very lighthearted. So
that and Disney Plus. I watched the new Onward movie on Disney Plus. So cute. Oh, I teared. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the day. I'll see you soon, okay? Thank you for
Bye, girl. You too.